Okay, fuck off. Already at the beginning, I was actually thinking, I don't think it has been picked up before I even started easy. I was puffing pretty much because of that. For fuck's sake in here. And then just nothing. Okay, fuck off with the patterns in here. Who is the retard that step-charted this? For fuck's sake. Rhythm break, yeah, fuck off. I was right. Also, not sure if there's anything. Media will be skipped because fuck off. Well then. Yeah, I said something with medium. There's way too much things. I will be potentially saying I'm skipping that one as well, since it's very much certain points. Meh. Not much here, I'd say, I think. Oh yeah, a whole bunch in terms of things in here. But let's see, because here there's apparently nothing. Okay, I can't see shit, Captain. And I would be potentially saying it's because there are no actual mines. Yeah, that or I'm not really sure if that's how it's supposed to look like it. So yeah, let's just skip to he.
I think that there is a very real danger, particularly in the United States, I have to say. The urge to condemn is coming out on top. But, and of course, one also thinks about Guantanamo Bay, where trials aren't even being held. Of course, one sees similar developments on this side of the Atlantic. I would argue that they are less pronounced because we do have judicial oversight.
listening to.
I would be saying it has been set to 4 because there's literally nothing much in here. It didn't even get to 100% in here. So... But because of stuff that's going on in between, that is already level 10 worthy. So yeah. Also can't do anything here, especially because of the end, so fuck off. And that is something else. What is going on there? Why it has been set as that? I will be checking. Maybe it has something to do with PPA? Nah, can't be. The usual, somewhat easy. I'm saying it there because there have been easier one, but at least I got that one going. So yeah, why is this here? Well, I will be saying because of some quickies in here, it has been... No, it has been potentially set to that, but overall it's not as much. So yeah, I'm not going there, because that's very much terrible. A bit much. barely managed that one. The barely was a little bit earlier even. The fucking everything. Fuck's sake in here. I would be potentially saying that made that pretty much screw itself in terms of getting itself confused, because there has been hard within the song name, and usually depending on stuff, if hard is being involved or anything else on how or EX potentially. Actually, that's also in here, because HEXA EX extra pretty much being on expert, pretty much that is that difficulty, I think. That is the reason why it has been put here. In actuality, I would be potentially saying, if the difficulty has been set, everything else shouldn't matter. And I can't actually see if that has been fixed in the newest version, because it can't load for shit. And just if anyone is pretty much still going, yeah, it is A36, the newest one. Pretty much that had came out yesterday as of now. Or the day before that even. No, it was yesterday, I think. Otherwise time zones. Yeah. They can't do stuff right. I would be potentially saying they are having a fast load on 1. Now have it on 0 and make it work there. Thank you very much. This one I'm not really sure. It should be fine though. Maybe. Check. Doable. I mean, it wasn't actually, it had been, I would be saying, rhythms on certain parts. It's hyper, that would be potentially it. I keep on saying it, if stuff has been set in terms of difficulty, everything else should not matter. Also, I might potentially be able to do that one as well. Also he I would be saying that is the obligatory 80% fail part. Why is it always there? Fuck off with your shit. Just do stuff regular. God damn it. And that.
Every face is there, trying hard as hell to get a handful of dollars. Just to get a hit makes you wanna scream and holler.
Speaking in tongues that you can't comprehend. Swinging 25 bitches on my boza. Never played it for so I ain't a rap fan. Don't ask me who done it.
I'm not talking about the trick-or-treaters that are bumping. I'm talking about the crackhead fiends that are stomping. Direct location, Frankfurt, Hop and Hop. Seeing more zombies than the Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Tell me where you at. In the front or the back. We can take it to the crowd. I like my music loud.
Speaking in tongues that you can't comprehend. Swinging 25 bitches on my boza. Never played it for so I ain't a rap fan. Don't ask me who. Don't
I'm
ask me
not
who
talking
done
about
it.
the trick-or-treaters that are bumping. I'm talking about the crackhead fiends that are stomping. Direct location, Frankfurt, Hop and Hop. Seeing more zombies than the Michael Jackson's Thriller. Trying hard as hell to get a handful of dollars. Just to get a hit makes you wanna scream and holler.
This engine did not leave a crater. Has about 1 foot clearance on the ground. We're looking down the camera. Already we could
Speaking in tongues that you can't comprehend. Swinging 25 bitches on my boza. Never played it for so I ain't a rap fan. Don't ask me who done it.
I'm not talking about the trick-or-treaters that are bumping. I'm talking about the crackhead fiends that are stomping. Direct location, Frankfurt, Hop and Hop. Seeing more zombies than the Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Tell me where you at. In the front or the back. We can take it to the crowd. I like my music loud.
The usual boring. How would that be even harder than it was been set to?
Every race is there, trying hard as hell to get a handful of dollars. Just to get a hit makes you wanna scream and holler.
Speaking in tongues that you can't comprehend. Swinging 25 bitches on my boza. Never played it for so I ain't a rap fan. Don't ask me who done it.
I'm not talking about the trick-or-treaters that are bumping. I'm talking about the crackhead fiends that are stomping. Direct location, Frankfurt, Hop and Hop. Seeing more zombies than the Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Tell me where you at. In the front or the back. We can take it to the crowd. I like my music loud.
Speaking in tongues that you can't comprehend. Swinging 25 bitches on my boza. Never played it for so I ain't a rap fan. Don't ask me who done it.
I'm not talking about the trick-or-treaters that are bumping. I'm talking about the crackhead fiends that are stomping. Direct location, Frankfurt, Hop and Hop. Seeing more zombies than the Michael Jackson's Thriller. Trying hard as hell to get a handful of dollars. Just to get a hit makes you wanna scream and holler.
This engine did not leave a crater. Has about 1 foot clearance on the ground. We're looking down the camera. Already we could
Speaking in tongues that you can't comprehend. Swinging 25 bitches on my boza. Never played it for so I ain't a rap fan. Don't ask me who done it.
I'm not talking about the trick-or-treaters that are bumping. I'm talking about the crackhead fiends that are stomping. Direct location, Frankfurt, Hop and Hop. Seeing more zombies than the Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Tell me where you at. In the front or the back. We can take it to the crowd. I like my music loud.
Sometimes it's all questionable where actual difficult parts are, quote unquote. I mean, it's another one of those, but still.
Dive into the energetic sounds of psychedelic
Not so much else. The fuck in the middle. That's a no immediate. That wasn't much. Was there something I can go to the MIDI? No, yeah, I said so. That is worse. In here. Same. And there's way too much in here. I would be still saying no on there. Just terrible. Also no on medium there. A whole bunch in the middle. I'm not going medium. Also, last letter incoming. Seriously, certain things could have actually been brought over in here. It won't even add to the difficulty itself. Only potentially just one more number. Yeah, because of bullshit in here, I'll have it here, no. This is fucking terrible. Oh, I could have been there actually. I would be saying it is the chords, but I'm still not. I actually wanted to do in terms of pretty much thingamajig in here. Well, I would be then adding the sixth stuff in terms of, now that would be elsewhere though. Not really sure what I should be then having added here. That one's already there. Depending. Yeah, I'm not sure. since that one was okay, I'll be attempting that then. Okay, that pretty much happened. Whatever. I would be saying because of the BPMs, I think it's...
Generation's a hip-hop nation, a good vibration, I love that sensation. Styles that I say, cause you know I like the flavor, the vibe, cause I feel good inside. My generation's a hip-hop nation, a good vibration, I love that sensation. Styles that I say, cause you know I like the flavor, the vibe, cause I feel good inside.
Where are they? Yeah, fuck off. It's pretty much just stops and then pass forward to there. Okay, no fucking what? That. Have it just there.
Generation's a hip-hop nation, a good vibration, I love that sensation. Styles that I say, cause you know I like the flavor, the vibe, cause I feel good inside. My generation nation, a good vibration. I love that sensation. Styles that I say, cause you know I like the flavor, the vibe, cause I feel good inside.
There was something. I don't know. Oh, fuck off. Yeah, no matter which way, it is fucking terrible. I blame the mines. It would be potentially something if there had been actual proper, I might need to get stuff on it. But in that case, everything else is remaining there. Is it usual with M speed?
God created the heaven and the earth. And the earth was without form and void, and darkness was upon the face of the deep. And the Spirit of God moved upon the face of the waters. And God said, let there be light. And there was light. And God saw the light. That it was good. And God divided the light from the darkness.
Meh. As I leave this because it's terrible either way. I'm not even going there. Wait, it's been set 30, but it's actually 22. There. What was that, please? It said something about being put to sleep. I'm not even going there because what the fuck is going on there? Also, last one, and what the hell is going on there? I would be saying that might be the reason. Also, WK? So have it here. Also, because since this one is the last one, I will be doing the last one as well. Just to make it obvious that there is pretty much something terrible in here. And why it's just in here? Is that the reason why there has been a whole bunch? No? Yes? I'm not really sure. I would be saying after the speed down, their stuff will be going again. Okay, I blame whatever happened with, or whatever was at the beginning. Because of that, stuff was fucking terrible in here. It is pretty much stuff at the beginning for whatever reason. I would be saying stuff was supposed to be not much, but for whatever reason, yeah, stuff has been whatever. I said stuff that this is the last one. It's the halfway point. Also, in terms of something else, I would be saying that this one is not the fixed one. I said something about Fs not being recognized. I will be having them as Ds. I'm not really sure if I actually have a D minus something. I don't think I have it, so it would be then a D then. So that if anything is there, it will be not a fail. Because fail doesn't count as a rank. Also, I still said something about OBS being what the hell in terms of I don't have any stats there. So I might actually need to actually get that one going, fuck's sake. And yeah, the usual, also 76 rounds. Within 3 hours, well, the usual in terms of things, so yeah. Also, I should be potentially getting stuff going as well, since in terms of SPS, getting them through, it certainly should be something that I should be having or doing or whatnot. So yeah. So yeah. I don't think it's A+, it might be a bit low actually.